Unknown Worlds is a German urban exploration channel run by Toby and Alex, two explorers who venture into some of the most haunting abandoned places across Germany. But unlike many exploration channels that focus purely on the aesthetic decay, their channel has encountered some genuinely dangerous situations. And this particular exploration, well, it became one of the most terrifying experiences they've ever documented.
Wir sind heute unterwegs zu einem neuen Lost Place, den wir zufällig über Google Maps gefunden haben. Deswegen gehen wir davon aus, dass er noch gut erhalten sein sollte, noch nicht so viele Leute da waren. Wir haben wenig bis keine Informationen über diesen Ort. Das heißt, wir wissen nicht, wie sieht's mit Security aus, wie sieht es mit Umzäunung aus, wie gefährlich ist dieser Lost Place. Das ist natürlich auch immer ein Aspekt, den man beachten muss. Und ja, wir sind jetzt ungefähr noch so 15 Minuten müssten wir entfernt sein. Haben ihn ja wie gesagt einfach nur zufällig entdeckt, indem wir mal bei Google Maps wieder mit der Satellitenansicht uns so ein bisschen unser geliebtes Land Brandenburg angeguckt haben. Und dann sind uns diese komischen Häuser mitten im Wald aufgefallen, wo wir dachten, okay, das muss ein Lost Place sein oder es ist, keine Ahnung, eine Geheimstation der NSA oder irgendwie so ein Scheiß.
With little to no information about the location, no knowledge of security, fencing, or how dangerous it might be, they decided to check it out anyway. They were hoping for a well-preserved, rarely visited location. What they found was something far more dangerous. When they finally arrive, the place looks exactly like what you'd expect from a forgotten structure in the middle of nowhere. Wooden floors, decaying walls, and that eerie silence that comes with abandonment. After exploring the upper section for a while, they descend into what used to be a cellar. The atmosphere is tense but manageable, just another day of urban exploration. And that's when they realize they're not alone.
Raus, schnell raus hier. Raus.
As they venture deeper, they reveal something: bottles, blankets, and signs of recent human activity. Someone had been living there, or worse, someone was still there. But it was too late. While Alex managed to escape, Toby was still inside when the attack happened. Once Alex made it outside, he immediately called emergency services.
Ich bin nicht verletzt, bin gar nicht verletzt, konnte direkt abhauen, aber wie gesagt, mein Kumpel ist da noch drin. Sie müssen schnell Polizei und Krankenwagen. Ich weiß nicht, was da jetzt noch passiert ist, keine Ahnung. Ich war direkt draußen und es war in der Baracke drin. Okay, ja, ich komme da vorne zur Straße, dann zeige ich das.
The moments that followed must have felt like an eternity. Alex waited outside, knowing his friend was still in danger, possibly injured, and facing a threat that had already turned violent. the situation had escalated into something far more serious than a typical urban exploration gone wrong. Eventually, Toby managed to escape from the building. He made it out, but not without injuries. Possibly the attacker had used a knife, and Toby had wounds to prove it. What makes this particularly disturbing is how quickly everything happened. One moment, they're joking around, excited about exploring an unknown location. The next, they're separated. One is injured, and both are traumatized by an experience that could have ended so much worse. So let me ask you, if you're into urban exploration, does this change how you think about it? Do you always explore with a partner? Do you have a plan for emergencies? And for those of you who watch these videos but would never actually explore these places yourselves, can you understand why people are drawn to it despite risks like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Before we move on to our next story, let's take a quick break from all the tension with something a little different. This clip comes from a channel called Bald and Bankrupt. Now, if you're not familiar with this guy, he's basically a bald Englishman who travels the world exploring forgotten Soviet-era buildings, remote villages, and places most tourists would never dream of visiting. So our bald explorer arrives in Balikchi, Kyrgyzstan, after what sounds like an absolutely delightful bus journey. He starts wandering around. Then he spots an old command tower. Dark, nasty-looking, covered in pigeon droppings. The kind of place where you'd expect to find, I don't know, a ghost, maybe some cursed Soviet machinery, perhaps evidence of dark Cold War experiments. He decides to go inside, and this is what he finds.
What's this? Let's escape the wind by starting off with an abandoned building exploration. Come on, let's do it. Whoa, blin! Я боюсь! Черт! Oh, blin! You scared me. There's a man taking a shit. Yeah, I think I might get out of here. Okay, have a nice one. Здравствуй. Holy shit! I thought it was a monster.
Now, imagine this from the other guy's perspective for a second. You've been holding it in all day. Maybe you were on a bus for hours, uncomfortable, waiting for the right moment. You finally find a nice, quiet, abandoned building where no one's around. You think, perfect, privacy at last. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, a bald Englishman with a camera walks in and puts you on the internet for over 2 million people to see. Life really is hard sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, let's leave our bald explorer and his accidental goblin friend behind and get back to the serious stuff. Chris Hill runs a channel called Urbex Hill, and if you're into urban exploration, abandoned places, and those spine-tingling moments when you're not quite sure if you're alone, then his content is exactly what you're looking for. This time, Chris is taking on something different. An abandoned prison hidden deep in the forest at an undisclosed location. And from the moment Chris stepped inside, he knew he was being watched.
Alright guys, this time I'm using my GoPro and my camera. to record. What building is this? I didn't know they had buildings way back here. Anyways. Shit. That light just cut on. That's a bad sign. Prison deep in the forest like this. This is crazy. Finally, we found a way in.
Now, for most people, that would be an immediate warning to leave. Abandoned buildings with electricity and active camera? That's not normal. But sometimes these cameras are just recording to nowhere, or they're part of a system that hasn't been monitored in years. But the thing is, you never really know for sure. Despite knowing he was being monitored, Chris continued deeper into the prison. In one area, Chris found what appeared to be bullet holes in the walls, like someone had been practicing their aim. He even found what appeared to be spent ammunition or evidence of recent firearms use. But then, as Chris was exploring deeper into the facility, he heard something.
It's really creepy just sitting in here alone like this. I think they left. I don't hear any noise. They must have been like contractors or something. It sounded like they were using power tools.
Chris assumed it was contractors, maybe doing maintenance work or sealing off the building. That would make sense, right? So he waited, and the sounds eventually stopped. He figured whoever it was had finished their work and left. Time to continue the exploration. He's now being cautious, making sure doors didn't close behind him, keeping track of his exit routes. Basic urban exploration safety. But what he didn't know yet was that his main exit route was already compromised. After exploring for a while longer, Chris decided it was time to leave. He'd gotten plenty of footage, and honestly, the place was starting to get to him. Time to head back to the entrance and get out of there. And that's when this happens.
You could see. Please. Oh no. Fuck. Fuck.
When Chris reached the door he'd used to enter the prison, his worst fear was confirmed. According to Chris, those sounds he'd heard earlier, those weren't contractors doing random maintenance work. Whoever they are, they were sealing the entrance, the only way he knew to get out of the building. The footage cuts off while Chris is still pursued. We don't know how he managed to escape, or if he eventually got caught. But the fact that this video exists and was uploaded to his channel tells us one thing. Somehow, Chris made it out. Now, I'm not here to judge Chris's decisions. He's an experienced urban explorer who's been in countless situations. But this video serves as a stark reminder that urban exploration isn't just about the thrill of discovering forgotten places. It's about understanding the risks, recognizing when those risks become too great, and knowing when to turn back. So, what do you think? Would you have turned back when you saw the cameras? Or would you have kept going despite the warning signs like Chris did? Let me know in the comments below. An urban explorers ventured into an abandoned supermarket in Cancun, Mexico. Once a thriving shopping center that opened its doors to thousands of families, it closed in 2014 after corruption and financial mismanagement drained its resources. For years, the massive structure became a haven for homeless individuals, and according to locals, a den for criminal activity. Authorities periodically cleared the building, but people always returned. Now, with demolition scheduled to make way for a new general hospital, two urban explorers decided to document the location. What was supposed to be a final exploration before demolition turned into a terrifying encounter when a man with a knife emerged from the shadows. This is what happened.
Vamos a adentrarnos por acá. Vean cómo ya destruyeron todo este... Tranquilo, bro. Tranquilo. Tranquilo, viejo. Trae un cuchillo. Trae un cuchillo. Trae un cuchillo. Trae un cuchillo el vato. ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo bien? Trae un cuchillo, güey. No hay un cuchillo, güey. ¿Y dentro otro?
Y sí, venía uno que fue para allá.
Su mecha, güey. Nos salió una persona, tiene un cuchillo en la mano y creo que era un palo, un fierro.
A man suddenly appeared holding a knife in one hand and what looked like a metal rod in the other. The explorer then tried to defuse the situation, explaining that he was just there to document the building before it was demolished. The man with the knife began to explain his situation. He had been living in the supermarket, collecting scrap metal to sell for about $10 to $15 a day, just enough for dinner and basic necessities. But he had been robbed multiple times, even stabbed once, losing part of his finger in a previous attack. His defensive reaction wasn't paranoia, It was survival instinct born from repeated violence. In his mind, anyone entering the building could be a threat, someone coming to steal what little he had or worse. Sometimes the line between urban exploration and intrusion can be thin, especially when abandoned spaces become homes for those with nowhere else to go. Owen is an explorer who describes himself as a real-life time traveler. His channel, Exploring with Owen, is all about stepping into the past by exploring everything abandoned, forgotten, and creepy. But on this particular day, Owen was about to discover that some places aren't as abandoned as they seem, and some people don't take kindly to visitors.
Alright, so basically, these barns, first of all, are in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I'm literally in the middle of the woods. So basically what happened is, back in the 1990s, a person was snowshoeing around this area, and they heard screaming coming from over the hill. I'm pretty sure it's like this hill right here somewhere. And so they came down to check it out, and they heard that it was coming from inside the barn. And so they went inside the barn and looked, and there was 4 people tied up. And those 4 people were also on the missing list for this area at the same time. So we're assuming there was some sort of kidnapper involved in this whole thing. But anyways, we're about to explore these barns.
Whether that story is true or just local legend, he wanted to find out for himself. So he grabbed his camera and headed out. Owen quickly found his way in through an open window. The first barn was filled with old hay bales, storage bins, and farming equipment everywhere, typical of an abandoned agricultural building. Then a door suddenly slams shut on its own. He tells himself it's just the wind and keeps going. A few minutes later, there's a loud bang somewhere in the barn. Something crashed or fell. Owen doesn't wait to find out what it was. He exits the first barn and moves toward the second one. This barn has 2 doors. He tries the first one. It's stuck. The second door opens, but it only leads to a small storage room. Inside, he spots something. Pitchforks. Old farming tools, sure, but in a place with this kind of history. It felt ominous. He tries another door that should lead into the main building, but it won't budge. Determined to get inside, Owen decides to walk around and look for another entrance, and that's when everything goes sideways.
I think I'm gonna go back around to the other side of this, and maybe to the back side, and try to see if I can find a good way in. Because I'm pretty sure during my reconnaissance earlier, I did see a little like sliding door around the back, so hopefully I'll be able to get in.
This is private property, right?
No, I didn't.
Go!
I'm sorry.
Get the camera out of my face. This is private property.
No, I'll turn it off.
Oh my god. Last person you want on this property. This is making bad. I'm not gonna lie. So, dude, you need to get off now.
Hey, chill, bro.
Dude.
Chill.
Get
Yo,
off.
chill. Yo,
Go.
stop screaming
Go.
at me, bro. Yo, what the heck? Yo, holy crap. Dude, holy crap.
Found you.
Dude, this guy's insane. What the heck?
Get out of the barn.
This guy's insane.
Get out of the
I'm sorry, bro. It's just you're scaring me. When you like...
Get out of the barn.
Okay, I'm sorry. Holy crap. Just chill, bro. Just chill. I'm going. What is going on? You good, bro? Like...
Unless you want to go missing. Leave.
What'd you just say?
Leave.
Dude, chill. Holy crap, dude. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't break anything.
Leave.
Oh.
I told you to stop. Don't.
Holy crap, stop. Yo, bro, stop.
Go.
No. Yo, this guy's insane.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, he was trespassing. What did he expect? And yeah, that's fair. Urban exploration exists in a legal gray area, and property owners have every right to protect their land. But chasing someone with a pitchfork while threatening about going missing. That's not normal behavior. And here's the thing. Some viewers have questioned whether this whole encounter was real. The timing seems almost too perfect. Owen just happens to be at a location with a dark kidnapping history, and a man just happens to appear and say, "You don't want to go missing like the others?" It's suspiciously on the nose. So what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you've ever had a dangerous encounter while exploring abandoned places, share your story. I'd love to hear it. Rhythm Rider is a channel dedicated to exploring the forgotten places that time left behind. His videos capture the eerie beauty of abandonment, the personal belongings, the faded photographs, the lives that were simply walked away from. But this exploration was different. This wasn't just another abandoned house with dusty furniture and old magazines. This was something that made him question whether he should even film what he found. Because sometimes the stories these places tell aren't just sad, they're haunting reminders of our own mortality.
Alright guys, so we're starting off this video in the living room. And as you can see, this is a time capsule. Everything is left behind. Things are a bit of a mess. There are squirrels in here. When we came up to this place, we knew there was something special about it. We didn't realize what we were going to find. It's pretty disturbing, pretty sad, but it's part of the story of life, and we really wanted to show you guys this. So as you can see, well, probably there's a lot of yarn in these cabinets. The woman that lived here was an avid knitter, and this is actually one of her pieces right there on the wall. Pretty awesome. Very talented woman.
When Jamie first approached this house, he knew something was special about it. The exterior didn't give much away, just another old home sitting quietly, waiting to tell its story. The living room was completely intact. A Sudoku puzzle sat on the armrest of a chair, as if someone had just put it down to grab a cup of tea. The calendar frozen on August 2018. As Jamie moved through the house, he found cabinets filled with collectibles, Royal Doulton figurines, real silver spoons, vintage Christmas decorations. There was even a spoon collection, the kind your grandmother probably had. It's clear that this woman was feisty, outgoing, and full of life. She had hobbies, friends, and a home she was proud of. But as the exploration moves back upstairs, the tone shifts dramatically.
And this is why I'm going to show you something that you've probably never seen before in a video. I've never come across it. I've always been worried about something like this happening. And then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door and we saw this on the ground. Now, for those who can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain. And you can see right there, there's a walker. So, unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed on the floor, and that's where she expired, unfortunately. It's extremely sad to us. It took us a good 20 minutes to decide what we're going to do here, and despite it feeling weird, we figured we still need to tell the story because this is a good reminder to everybody that you need to check on your loved ones. It seemed this woman had passed and was laying here for God knows how long before she was found. So check in on your loved ones, guys. It's really creepy and sad.
For those who might not immediately recognize what that is, let me be clear. That's where she died. The woman who knitted those beautiful pieces, who collected spoons and Royal Doulton figurines, who entertained friends in her retro basement bar, she fell right there. And that's where she stayed. Her bedroom told the rest of the story. Bright colors everywhere, vibrant clothing stuffed into a massive closet. This was a woman who loved life, who wasn't afraid to stand out. Family had tried to come in at some point, probably to sort through her things, but you can imagine how difficult that would have been with that stain. This is what haunted Jamie the most. This has always been one of his biggest fears when exploring abandoned places, finding evidence of a death, especially one this tragic. It took him a long time to process what he was seeing, to decide if he should even share this with the world. But here's the thing. This story isn't just about an abandoned house. It's about loneliness. It's about the importance of checking in on the people we love, especially those who live alone. And hey, maybe after watching this, take a minute to call someone. You never know how much it might mean, because nobody should end up as a stain on the floor of their own home.
If you look over here, this would have been her chair. She would have sat here playing her Sudoku puzzle, watching the television.
If you want to see more encounters that'll make you appreciate your couch, check out the video on screen and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always change your mind later.